It's a new day, and nothing's really quite going your way. You got bad news that's confusing. You got sad news that you're wounded. And it feels like the worst time. You're worried and scared and not fine. You feel unprepared with no signs. Well, it'll be alright, you just gotta fight. What about things happen to the best of us? It seems like they should be blessed. They just might be angels here as guests, teaching us to be our best. When everything breaks at the seams and you feel like you're losing belief, well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. When it all falls apart and goes wrong, when you feel let down and so lost, and it feels like you can't hold on, well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. Cause sometimes things go wrong, and one day everything's gone, but you can make it out and move on. So damn it, you just gotta stay strong. You know that it sucks and it hurts. It's like you've been cursed by the world at its worst. I'm sorry, I know you can't see it, but maybe all these things happen to you for a reason. So stay strong and push through it. Your willpower is everything you got, don't lose it. And one day things will get better. You just gotta get through the stormy weather. What about things happen to the best of us? It seems like they should be blessed. They just might be angels here as guests, teaching us to be our best. When everything breaks at the seams and you feel like you're losing belief, well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. When it all falls apart and goes wrong, when you feel let down and so lost, and it feels like you can't hold on, well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. Cause sometimes things go wrong, and one day everything's gone, but you can make it out and move on. So damn it, you just gotta stay strong.
Hello, Arctic. Look
Hey,
at
there
everybody.
he is.
We could just see him. There he is. Good looking ARCTICFOX. Welcome. Nice to see you. And I mean that. Very nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. Let's just say hi to some people. Let me see. Cement Shoes. Hi. Welcome to see you. Welcome, Nikita. A single mom. Batheus Bites. Right? Did I do good? Did good. I seen Skunk. Hey. Okay. Well, if I missed you, I'm sorry. See Arctic. That's good enough. We're all here. Everybody will join. Well, today, hey Juju Bones, thanks for joining. Today is Summer's second anniversary for being missing. Very sad.
Yes.
Everybody knows I really don't cover Summer. I've just, hey Nan's Life. I don't cover Summer because it's just, let's face it, shit show from get-go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of strong feelings on this case, mainly from watching the shit show from Dago. And hey, Elberry, thank you for joining. I think my opinion is Summer went missing, and then she went missing in her own story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is like we were talking about before the show, you know, they're talking about how law enforcement hasn't come out with any new information. That doesn't mean they don't know anything
Right.
new. That just means they're not going to spill what they do know because they don't want to hurt the integrity of the case. I guarantee you they know a whole lot more than what they're saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always say a case that's not spoke about with lots of press and everything else in law enforcement is one that usually sticks. One that usually is its integrity is all there and it's the right person. You can look back on some of the false, the wrongful convictions, and if you watch the media and the many, many stories done by it, you will see a wrongfully convicted behind that because they get convicted by media, poisoned jury pools. And they're usually the ones that have really big theories and, rabbit holes everybody's jumping down. And that's something that really bothers me about Summer's case is that, first of all, I have a video, I'm going to play it, and it is the timeline of Summer being missing. It's all Summer. It talks about, her events throughout the 2 years. It's a 2-minute movie or 2-minute video. I'm going to play that. You guys watch it, get the facts, and then we'll talk about it. But it's going to be one of those, I'm going to say my opinion, and I apologize if people don't like my forwardness. I might be a little harsh. But that's how it is for me. So we'll play this and then we'll be right back. Well, there we go. there are the facts of Summer's case. That is all we have. And it's not, oh, you're muted.
Amazing how we can compile all that in a short 2 to 3 minute video and not have a 3-hour live stream every single night going on.
That's it right there. What can you take out of that and talk about? You know, you can take what the circumstances around her missing are. Of course, that's what everybody does. You know what I mean? And you do start, victimology is played in every crime, in every case that they talk about. They go from the inside out. Okay. Yeah. Well, some other facts are, like it said in there, Don and Candace passed their polygraph. Okay. That doesn't mean they're not still suspects. Everybody is still a suspect, which means it's open to the world. You and me could be suspects, right? I mean, really, that's what it means. It doesn't say person of interest, okay, which is somebody they really kind of focus on. That's a different thing than a suspect. People don't realize that. I don't think they understand the difference. And in my journey through cases, they don't really clear anybody until they have the real one there.
Exactly. And they're not going to come out and specifically say that a person has been cleared. They'll say that the family's been fully cooperative. They'll say things of that nature. You know, unless they have a direct person of interest, they tend to not make announcements. We went through this with Michael Monkey Vaughn's case.
Yep.
Everyone was like saying, well, Brandy and Tyler haven't been cleared. But you'd have the police chief come on and say how cooperative both of the parents have been throughout the entire investigation, going so far as to hug them on camera during the press conferences and stuff. Police officers don't hug people they think are guilty.
No, they don't. They're not going to have you standing there during these things being proud of you saying that, because they basically said we are here with the parents, and they've been, you know, I mean, they're constantly, it was always, positive thinking. Oh, hello, Queen OG. Wonderful to have you here. Everybody's going to be a suspect till, like you said, somebody of interest or something breaks in the case, which has been nothing. And to me, it's not, I know people say there's no evidence of an abduction, but did aliens come down and get her? I mean, let's be real. You know,
it's not far-fetched. Of aliens lately, so you know
there are plenty of crimes that are done by opportunity instead of planned. Do you know what I mean? Especially like when it comes to pedophiles, they will take an opportunity. Yes, they watch. Yes, they do this and that, but most of them, opportunity. You take that kid. You know what I mean? That kid could have been down at the bottom of the hill and snatched up.
Exactly.
She went hiding. Somebody's seen her. Whoops, snatched her up. It's not far-fetched, okay?
You know, and one of the cases I like to use as an example, because I was guilty myself in this case, is the Delphi case. Because I was going after law enforcement hard. Why the hell after all this time? Have they not done anything? Why are they not doing anything to try to find who committed this atrocious crime? And all that time they'd already had a person of interest in the case, but they were building that case. They weren't releasing the information because they wanted to make sure they had a solid case.
And that's 5 years.
We don't know. Yeah, 5 years. We don't know what the TB has. We don't know what the Kingsport locals have. What we do know is that they're not releasing information, and that may be because they already know what happened this summer. They already know who's responsible for kidnapping her, but they want to make sure that they have a solid enough case before they try to rescue Summer, because they certainly don't want to put information out that's going to put her in harm's way. And B, if there has been something tragic happen this summer, worst case scenario, they want to make sure that that person spends the maximum amount of time behind bars for the crime that they've committed. And they can't do that willy-nilly by releasing information that may damage that case.
Exactly. Like I said, a case that's held close to the chest is usually best. It is for all around, for the public. And I know everybody wants their answers. I want them too. You don't think I want to know where Summer is? You don't think I haven't had thoughts? I'm going to tell you my straight thoughts. When I seen this family, I thought they're fucked up. Okay, fucked up family. Sorry, they got issues beyond issues. But that does not make them responsible for doing anything to their child. It doesn't mean they didn't love their children. You know, some people go in addiction, have alcohol problems. You know, they have domestic problems. It happens every day, but you don't accuse them of killing their kids or selling them.
I will be the first to admit the Wells, they are guilty of being awful parents. I mean, there's no question about that. But that doesn't mean
changed. Right.
That does not mean that they did anything to Summer. Okay. Right. So, and if they did, I will be the first one calling for them to spend the rest of their life in fucking jail.
I'll throw them under the jail.
I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to tragedy pimp Summer's case, for one. I'm not going to sit there and accuse these parents of atrocious, horrible things when we don't have any solid evidence. We know right now what we knew 2 years ago is what we basically know. Okay. Yep. No new information has come forward.
Exactly. That is my point right there. Nothing has been, new that you can sit and talk about. You can look, they've interviewed, as far as I'm concerned, people that even looked at the wells. Okay. They just looked at the wells. So let's tear their life apart. Let's drag them down you're guilty. You did this, you did that. We can say people who insert themselves in cases don't know shit. You wouldn't be on this platform talking for 10 hours a day, Jody Sue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Let's just be real. Or you wouldn't be talking these foolish things, and nothing that you're saying has anything to do with the day that Summer was messing. You're talking
Sally,
about
hey, 6 cents. Hey, can you highlight Dolly Bear's comment real quick?
Yes, I certainly will. I was looking for some. There's a couple of them in here. Where did it go? Okay, up here, Dolly.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sensimilian. How's Sally? Hello.
So are you referring to the Fred Hill arrest? Is that what you're referring to, Dolly? Because we were actually talking about that right before we started the show.
Yeah, there's quite a few things. I was watching News Nation. This is what really popped up when my attitude about Summer's case. And I've really felt this way for a long time. In fact, I made a video called Welcome to the Wells Circus. And to me, there's been so many far-fetched theories. And today is supposed to be about Summer, because I think Summer has been lost in her own case. I think everything that's been talked about, which has not brought anything, all the TBI's tips that have been bullshit because of some creator that has a conspiracy tinfoil hat on, okay, and can't jump off it. And there are some very large, creators. One of them is no thanks. You replay all last year's stuff and you set disturbing, inappropriate jokes in a case. To me, that's just grifting. You're not even in it for the right reason. You blame people with no evidence, and you're a creator. You should do better. You shouldn't be pushing your theory of they did it as a fact. I've seen too many people in chats, and that's what I'm really talking about, is a lot of the things they're saying is so far out, and they use it as a fact. I know Don sold her for, I know she's been sold. Grandma and Candace, they buried her. Then they moved her, buried her again. You know how awful that is? Do you realize that the internet is forever and that people have been found 20 years later?
Exactly. And, there's a good possibility, and I can take this and say this because I know firsthand, because I've seen it happen, that they may actually know where Summer's at. They may have Summer right now. We don't know. But I have seen cases where children have been found and the general public doesn't even know anything about it. People are still posting their flyers up, and because they're building cases.
Right, exactly. See, that's the thing. Is it our demand to know as a public and their demand to do their job right conflict? Do you know what I mean? They want answers, and I want answers. I'm a public. I am curious. My heart is into this, but they have to do their job. They have to. They have their loyalties lie with the victim.
Well, and here's the thing too. Okay, I know because I've been on the other side of the camera. I've been not a creator. I've been someone that just watches YouTube for entertainment long before I ever started a channel. And for a lot of people out there, that's exactly what these cases are. It's entertainment for them. It's like a soap opera. It's like a drama. But for the people involved, for these families, for the friends of the family, for the communities, this isn't fodder for some drama. This isn't just some show that they're watching on the internet. This is real life. And so while you want to know everything because you think that it's the next big cliffhanger in the case, that's not how this works. Not everything is out there for public consumption. There's a lot of things that cannot be made public because you're dealing with a child's life.
Bravo. You well said, brother. I'll tell you. Exactly right. Their lawyers' loyalties lie with the victim, right? And don't go around making more victims. And that's what people have done. They have pointed so many fingers, and there's been so many theories, and there's been I mean, the things that people have put upon this little girl of happening to her is horrible. Why would you say her father sexually abused her when there is no proof of that? Why would you say that about a 5-year-old little girl, that you have no evidence that that happened? It's a thought in your mind, yes, but you put that on her. So now people are saying this, and it goes around, and it's a big thing that poor Summer was abused and she sold in the sex trade and her dad molested her, and that's horrible. Would you like somebody to say that about your child and there's no proof of this whatsoever? I really think people need to.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that all those accusations are true. Let's say they are true. Summer is found alive. She comes home, and even if she's placed with another family, that she never goes back to Candace and Dawn. You don't think she's going to go looking her case up to see what the coverage was like? You don't think her brothers are online in the foster home that they're in right now, looking at the coverage, looking at what's being said about their dad, about their sister? You don't think that's causing more trauma that they're going to have to recover from, that they're not going to be in therapy for the rest of their life? And then you've got Summer, the victim, watching all that once she's found and is back home, and she's re-victimized all over again. So, you know, regardless of whether it's true, it's not true, that's not here or there. That makes no difference. The fact of the matter is, you're talking about a 7-year-old girl now, 5 when she went missing, and you're saying these horrible, degrading things about her, which even if they are true, that's just going to open those wounds back up again when she Googles her name and sees it all over for the whole world to see.
Comments like this will be deleted because we're not here talking about that. We are talking about Summer, and that is the whole point of this live, okay? We are not talking about Don and what he did. We're talking about Summer and being lost in theories and crimes being placed on this child that are not known facts, and where people are going over the limit. So please keep this about Summer. I would appreciate that. You're entitled to your opinion, but that kind of thing, true or not, he's not been convicted of it. So to me, it's hearsay. And what is hearsay to me? Absolutely no say. Can't be used in court. And that's where I lie in my mind. I will be one that goes by facts and evidence. I speculate. I do. I'm human. You know, I mean, I speculate and I got my opinions. All right. But that has nothing to do with Summer being missing. It's not been proved anyway. So if it ever is proven that what you just typed is a fact, then I will apologize to you. But till then, I don't think that's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. Speculation is fine, but you've got to make sure you put that you are speculating. In my opinion, this may have happened, in my opinion, or I have heard, but you can't.
That's where you're wrong. Sorry, Arctic. You're wrong. I've been here since day one with Summer's case. I don't cover it because it's a circus and people with their opinions are convicting people with no evidence. And I'll say it again. I go by what can be brought into court, evidence and facts.
Exactly.
That's why I don't cover it, because this is all speculation, theory, and really guilty by your opinion, guilty by media. I am very sorry that you think I haven't been here since case day one. I have. I just don't speak on it because I'm not a tragedy pimp. And as you can notice, my channel is not monetized and it will not be monetized. And I can have it monetized. I don't want to make money. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the victims. I'm here for all missing. Some people just talk about one little girl. Me and Arctic talk about many people, okay, because we are for the missing. But today is for Summer. That's it. I'm talking about her today.
Exactly. I mean, I can count on one hand the number of videos that I have done on Summer. And the last one I did was just to put out that age progressed photograph that law enforcement had put out. But the thing is that age progression is off. I'm sorry.
It's too much aged.
She looks like she's 11 or 12 in that
let me
photograph.
Get that up here.
She does not look like she's 7 years old.
Yeah, let me bring that up and we'll take a look at that because I have it.
Hey, something to talk about. Glad to see you here. Hi, Lil Wing. Hey, Buckeye.
Hey, Buckeye, mama. Sorry, guys. I'm really not trying to be rude to that person. I'm not. It's just that's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand this is where I come from. And to tell me I haven't been here since day one, you don't know me very well.
Yeah.
So
now I can say I haven't been here since, well, I have been following it since day one, but I haven't been on YouTube since day one. My channel's not old enough for me to have been here since day one. So
yeah, I've been here for a long time on my channel, just never really been out there. I covered one case. That's it. So, okay, where is that window? There it is. Share. Can you see it? Or should I bring it up big? Okay, I just screwed me up there. There we go. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, I don't even know if that helps.
You should be able to zoom in on it.
Let me see.
If you go up to the top of your picture, there should be a plus button where you can zoom.
Go to the picture. Okay, I gotcha. Got you. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that? Good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and talk about it.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, number one, to me, even if it was Summer age progressed, it doesn't look like Summer to me. And it's definitely age progressed to an 11 or 12-year-old, in my opinion, not to that of a 7-year-old child.
Right. I tend to agree. I did see another picture, which I wish I had asked in advance if I could have used it. But forensic artist or art, I can't remember her whole name. She's wonderful. She did one that is Buckeye Mama knows who I'm talking about. She's really, really good. She does it for a living. She does this type of thing. So to me, I looked at her picture and it's far more closer to what Summer would be at 7. I think this one looks a little old to me. And I think other people say the same thing. I think they all kind of think it's that she looks a little older than what she
Yeah,
should.
I mean, it's been the consensus in the comments on the video that I did yesterday, and I agree. I agree. And I was like, hey, I'm just the messenger. I'm putting it out because law enforcement put it out.
Right.
But I agree. I do think it makes her look older than what she would be. So
Yeah, I do too. I do too. But you know, it's really sad that there isn't more information. That we do know just a 5-year-old little girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, weighed 40 pounds, you know, stood about what, 3 foot something. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly, you know.
well, and I think from the start, when they put the Amber Alert out, which, hey, I'm glad that she got an Amber Alert. I think every child should have an Amber Alert, but they did a disjustice in the original Amber Alert flyer because that's not what Summer looked like when she went missing. She had her head shaved and all of that. When they put these pictures of these children out, they need to put an accurate description or depiction of what they actually look like. Which I've gone off the deep end on cases before where it's involving foster children, and they give us pictures that are 3-4 years old of these kids who are now 14 and 15 years old and don't look anything like those pictures. And I get that the system's trying to protect the anonymity of these kids, but don't you think that their safety takes a priority over whether there's a new picture of them online somewhere?
Exactly. Oh, come on. The kid's missing. You definitely need to be accurate about it. We talk about this almost on every live. If you don't have an accurate picture, it's pretty hard for somebody to say, hey, that's a missing person. I seen that person. You know what I mean? Just like the Native community. I'm sorry. It's just there's no pictures. Why don't you have a picture of a 15-year-old? They take pictures in school. They go to school. I don't understand that. And I do need to dig into that and find out why.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Or we don't have a picture at all, or the picture that we do have looks like it was taken on a Nokia 3310 from 1996, and you can't make any details of the kid's face out on it.
Right. Well, like the Snapchat one, you know what I'm saying, where that girl was a doggy. I mean, how were we supposed to? Yes, they did update it, and yes, I think that child has been found. But still, you can't use a snap. Why would a parent give a Snapchat picture?
I don't understand. I mean, you know that these kids take selfies 26 times a day on their phones. Surely in all of that, there's one where they haven't filtered themselves beyond belief or beyond recognition. I mean,
even if they have makeup on, you can still kind of see what they look like. They're just going to look older, right? So you look at, you know, if I seen a kid, we're like, wait a minute. Some people are completely different without makeup like me. I mean, you know, you look like a completely different person, but that, you know, I don't think it's really with kids. I just think it's important to, when you're covering a case and you have a channel, yes, I do understand people are trying to make money. Okay. But your reputation, the dignity of your victim and their family, that should be first. If you're here with a true heart, I honestly believe that you should be here speaking for, if you say you're a voice for the voiceless, I don't think they'd want to hear I don't think they would talk like that. I don't think they would say them things that I've seen so many do. You're really hurting them as individuals and their case all at the same time.
Buckeye, I'm not sure if they did or if they didn't, for one. And secondly, I mean,
yeah, they have all them pictures.
If my child goes missing, I'm going to grab a photograph to hand it to law enforcement. I'm not going to sit and look and make sure it's the last photograph that was taken of my child necessarily, because we're not thinking straight in that type of situation. We don't know. I mean, our heads aren't exactly clear. So yes, it's possible that they gave them 3 or 4 different pictures this summer and that they just went with whatever photograph they wanted to go with, or it's possible that they weren't thinking straight in a stressful situation and grabbed a picture and handed it to law enforcement.
Right. That's true. And then they work it out. Like, you know, like that picture was from Christmas or something at the church or whatever. I understand the one they use. But then law enforcement does have the other pictures that were on Facebook, because believe me, they go there. They look at the parents' Facebook. They look at all their social media, because them are the first people they're looking at.
Yeah.
People that are there. Grandma, Candace, who's ever been there. Okay. But everybody in this case seems to have brought everybody that's ever went down that hill, crossed by that hill, went to Don, knows Don, said hi, maybe in the grocery store, for crepe's sakes. It's ridiculous. Okay. First of all, if you were more about the facts and the victim and less about trying to solve a case that you do not have no professional ability to do. Okay, we're all just people. Unless you show me a license that says you're a private investigator or you're a police officer that did this, or you're this or you're that, you're just a regular person with an opinion. It's okay to talk about your opinions. I'm not saying that. It's the way you state it.
Exactly.
It's what you put out to the masses and what the masses take with that, because it becomes a great big game of telephone.
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. I was like, there have been cases that I have speculated on. I try not to accuse anyone directly of being responsible for a crime, but when you've got cases where there are blatant red flags, like the Anna Walsh case, where you've got this dude that is putting bloody tarps in dumpsters, and there's just one red flag after another coming out, you can say, hey, I'm not accusing the guy, but there sure are a lot of red flags here. I mean, I don't know how many people are going around dumping bloody tarps in the middle of the night. So, and the fact that he took so long to even report his wife missing. And, I was right.
Right.
Where we are now. I mean, so
there are cases like Madeline Kingberg, who was here in Minnesota. When they first announced her, I was like, oh, that don't look good to me.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to get on there and say, oh, the husband did it. I know he did it, and then you see the chat and they're like, oh, he probably did this with her and did this. And then their minds just start expanding into these wild stories. Like, oh, she's kept in the refrigerator and then she was moved to this. I mean, I've heard some things that make me want to just
exactly. Sick. But the fact that he was the last person to see her, that he took off in the van, in Madeline's van, and then he was sitting. What really irritates me about that particular case, since you want to bring it up, is he knew full well what he had done to those kids' mama, and here he is fighting for custody of those kids while he knows his baby mama is lying dead. It's just irritating to me.
Yeah.
But that was one of those cases too, where there were a lot of red flags out there where no one's, well, I'm not going to say no one. I certainly didn't accuse him flat out of having done harm to her, but I did point out the many red flags.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good to do that. I really think, because I've worked in, wrongful convictions, that we talk about both sides of the law. We talk about the documents, and that's how we work it, is through factual documents from the court. FOIA's up the butt, so I hear people on the streets going, oh, I got a FOIA. Well, I know all about that. And I've read so much court content, you would make you listen. In the last 5 years, I've learned so much about the law, but I've also learned that with that community and this community that I'm in now, it's not much different. They still do an investigation the same ways, okay? But when it comes to them, we're looking at court stuff already done. Here, we're looking at stuff that's got to go into court. And I know what went into bad, wrongful convictions. I don't want to see that happen to a missing person. I want to see them get justice.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not throwing shade at some of these creators for how they've covered cases. Well, there's certainly some that I will throw shade at, but they're not all of them, because when I came into this community, I was new. I didn't immediately know how to cover these cases. I certainly have had a learning process along the way, and I'm still learning. I learn more every single day as I'm covering these cases, but I have done my best from day one to cover these cases with dignity and respect, both to the families and to the missing person, to the victim. And I don't have a problem with a channel being monetized per se.
Me
That's
neither.
never been my issue. My issue is when you're sitting here talking about a dead child and you've got your mods dropping your Cash App every 5 seconds in your chat. That's a huge issue for me.
Yeah, I have a Cash App. If I don't have a Nightbot, it's not going to drop it. It's down there. It's in my about thing. Big deal. I'm not going to beg for money. I don't flash it across here. I'm not monetized. I do this on my own. I do it with my own intent. And I plan on being here for the right reasons. I don't have nothing against anybody having memberships or having any of that. But they're also not the creators, like you said, that got that flashing and they got all this wild shit going on and they're doing three things. Look at one creator tells jokes while talking about missing people. Wrong. And goes over their own creations that they did for a year. And that's how this next year is played out. Why can't you move on to another case? There's so many. Can't you just show another picture while you're on, here? Can't you, when you put Summer's name in there, can it be about Summer and not about
exactly
somebody else that you don't even talk about Summer?
I can't count the number of times I've gone to a channel and it's entitled Summer Wells this, and they may mention her name one time, and it's usually talking about the neighbors that they think are guilty of this or that. It's not talking about Summer directly. And the fact is that in this country, a child goes missing every 40 seconds. So there are plenty of children for you to talk about that aren't getting any attention, that need your help in bringing them home, that have new information that has come forward that you could be doing updates on and bringing forward to the public. But no, because everyone is so dead focused on one or two cases out there, 90% of these children never see a lick of attention on YouTube.
Nope. They don't even get their poster put on a Facebook, like the two Native girls that I still haven't found a poster for that just got released and they've been missing since May. That's not good, right? Yes, I do think your content is excellent. I could listen to you all day long. Your stories are great. You tell very properly and very accurately. So I appreciate you. And that's just what I mean. I don't really care. I'm not telling anybody. I don't want to get no slack about I'm telling people how to run their YouTube channel. What I am saying is don't say you're about true crime and you're there for the victims when you are just rolling over the same piece of baloney every day. It's turned green already. Move on. Or say I'm a complete entertainment channel. Anything here, it can be, it's just my opinion. Something like that. Make it well known so people coming in that really want to know a fact, they get it, because people coming on here that are concerned about this little girl, from Rodgersville, Tennessee, okay, is lost. I mean, you go into a channel and you're hearing bad jokes against their parents, and they're the first time hearing it. They're going to say, oh my gosh, did you know what the parents did? And they run with it because they're just watchers. They're not researchers. You're supposed to be the researcher. You have the YouTube channel. You are the one they're listening to. So do your research and do better for your audience.
Yeah, I mean, look, I should not go to a true crime channel and hear someone doing an infomercial about the makeup that they're selling.
Yeah.
I shouldn't go to a true crime channel and have to wonder if I've accidentally tuned into a commentary channel by mistake. I shouldn't be going to a true crime channel and hear someone cussing out every single one of their subs who may have a disagreement with them. That is not how the platform should work. It's unfortunately what we see in all too many cases, but that's not how this should work.
No, it should be talking about what you have hashtagged, that child. I don't put hashtags of children. You've never seen me put Summer Wells in my hashtags till today. That's it. Because today I'm talking about Summer Wells' case. Now that I'm not talking, oops, sorry, my phone's ringing. My whole rant about Summer Wells' case is that Summer hasn't been put forward. Her facts haven't been put forward. When you do hashtag, well, I covered that. We put the facts out. we are talking about Summer, and now we are talking about cases being, the way they're handled. Summer's case is real good, stable to look at. Okay, to look at. Yes, Gabby Petito made people. The internet helped her, but that's a rarity. Okay, that
Well,
happened.
and no, well, I want to back up for a second because
I
the
think.
internet can truly help cases.
Yes.
Okay, it can, but the cases have to be covered properly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Putting out the drama and a bunch of sheer speculation, seeing what might stick to the wall, that's never helped bring a kid home. Okay. But what helped in Gabby's case, it wasn't your Bullhorn Betty, it wasn't your Ziggy, it wasn't your Justice for All throwing a bunch of speculation out and seeing what would stick. It was actually another member of the van life community who happened to be traveling, who happened to have spotted the vehicle. That's what broke that case open. It wasn't even anyone from the true crime community.
Right. But it can, as far as, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because we want to use this platform to get faces out and to help find them, which it does. You've proven that. And I don't care what anybody says, Bullhorn Betty, you can, okay, that. And so can you, JLR and no thanks, and every creator. This man right here next to me has brought home children, okay? He has helped the missing. He has helped find them. And that is what it's about. And Arctic, all you do is put out their face, speak their truths of the facts, and you put it out there. People see it. That to me is what every case needs. Just facts. I love speculation, but please don't hashtag and to not talk about that child. You're not. Summer's case is so bad that she is so far in the background compared to everybody else.
She's literally gotten lost in the weeds
in her own case, right?
Yeah.
She has.
And it's sad because at the end of the day, all these people who cry and proclaim that they're here for Summer, they're the very people that are destroying her case.
Yep.
And Summer's getting lost in all the madness, and it's saddening. It really is.
That's my point. She has been lost in her own case. It's so muddied. It's got everybody, their dog, the next neighbor, the mailman that might be, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is convicted of something, of doing something that has nothing to do with Summer.
Yeah. Do I have people who are on my bingo card of people who may be responsible for Summer's disappearance? You bet your ass I do.
So do I.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go on and do a 5-hour live stream sitting there for 9% of the time making unfounded accusations against them.
As a creator, I have the same values as you do. I do believe I have lots of theories. I think lots of things, but I don't speak them on here because I am a creator and I am putting out stuff to people that they don't know. So for a first-time person to come here and me to say, well, Don Wells sexually assaulted his daughter, they're going to take that as a fact because I am the one supposed to do the research, right? And I am the one supposed to putting out the facts. That's what true crime is about. It's not about a lie. It's not about a theory. It's not about what you think or your mama thinks or your friend or the dog even told you. I don't know. It is about the facts. That's true crime. That's why I say you and me are in the real crime, because we deal with real facts, real people, real life, real in life happening now.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm not faulting people for doing live streams either. I've done live streams. I do live streams when it's needed, when a case is just so far into the weeds that it needs the attention for me to go on, or when law enforcement's not doing jack shit to try to find a kid and I need a lot of fire under their fucking ass. You bet your ass I go live on that. It pisses me off.
It does me too. I think it's, well, here you go. Here's a good one. you're right. Circle jerk. It belongs in private. Or are you having a think tank of theories? Your live stream could be about that. You could say, we have a think tank of theories today. That's the name of it. We're talking theories. That way, anybody coming in, if they can't read and they don't know what a theory is, well, then that's on them, right? But at least you as a creator said, this is what I'm doing. We're going to speculate today. We're going to have theories. I've done that in the wrongful convictions. You know what I'm saying? But when I come on here and I talk about a child, especially who is unable, I mean, adults are one thing, but a missing child, you know, I mean, if you think about that, your heart breaks. You think this poor kid is taken by a stranger, probably something badly happening to them, if not murdered, or to the pure fact that they're taken from their home, from their parents. All that is so traumatic and so dramatic and so mentally damaging that I don't want to do that. I don't want to add something on that's not a fact to that child like they've done to Summer. I don't want their family to feel that they have no voice like they've done to the Wells, and the Wells have done to themselves. I will speak it. I speak truth. But that doesn't make the Wells that child's murderer or that child's seller. I hate that. I can't stand when I see that because they don't know. And they're putting that on this little girl. And when she comes back and she looks at this, how do you think she's going to feel? I don't want to be on any part of hurting somebody who's already been devastated.
Whenever I take a case on and decide that I want to cover it, I always tell myself, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I'm going to be wrong, I would rather be wrong about not accusing someone of something that they may be guilty for. And then I can always come back and be like, hey, guys, I was wrong, or I'm sorry, I didn't catch this. But once the internet's forever. If you come out making all these accusations, even if you delete your streams, there's always 500 people that have screen recorded that have clipped it, and it's on there forever. All these people that sat there and made all these accusations against Brandy and Tyler and Monkey's case, I have yet to see any of them come on and make a public apology to that family for all the bullshit that they spent almost a year spreading on the internet during the most goddamn painful time that they've ever been through.
Yeah, and look, our subs that are here understand that too. People. I mean, I don't know if you can put yourself into it. Oh, sorry, guys. But I don't know if you can. I do. I know I do. When I see a case, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, and them things that I just talked about are things that I think of. So when I talk about them, I want it to be something that is not against a family, because I want the family to know they have a voice. They can come here. They can talk about their child all they want. I'm not the police. I'm not an interrogator. I'm not trying to solve a case. Okay. I believe there are professionals for that. What I am here for is a voice, their face, the facts of it, to help the public that comes here to see this, because we see people from all around the world. And how do we know that they might just not click on and see that person's face and go, oh my God, I know where that person is.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. You've done it. So that I want that. I would love to see these big creators that make all this money by telling their lies and getting this drama going and getting all this, you know, unnecessary stuff added to an already devastating thing. You know?
Well, yeah, and that's an important point too, because I always tell people, share this out, even if you're not in Arkansas where the kid's missing from, or California where the kid's missing from, or wherever, because we don't know where that kid is. They may be outside the country. They may be clear across the country. And so it's important. And also, if you have information that you feel is credible, don't be afraid to call law enforcement with that, because you may think they already have heard all these tips, but sometimes it's that one small tip that everyone thinks law enforcement surely already has that breaks a case wide open. I've seen it happen 1,000 times.
Right. Hi, Dukes. Another thing is today there are people that are having what they're calling Summer's Day, which is a lot of people have been, putting it down. I want to applaud them, ladies. I'm not sure of their names. If I do find them out, I will put them in the description. But I do want to put it out there that are some wonderful people that are putting together an awareness and prevention. That is what Summer's Day is for. Her worst day is being remembered to help others. They want to put out flyers for summer, and they want to put out prevention materials and resources that if this ever would happen to you, because believe me, none of us are out of the shadow of tragedy or this happening to them. So I do believe, this is a really good thing. And I think what they've done is to be commended. Bravo, ladies. Thank you very much for being there for summer and for future summers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And there also is a bench for summer. I don't know where we went on that, but it's a link to click directly to donate to help towards the bench. It goes nowhere else. It goes directly to the bench. The Amazon link goes right to pay for the bench. I can tell you that I've talked to somebody who has donated, and it directly goes there, does not go to a creator. And we want to thank the Cash Gurnan Justice family for that. They are the ones that set it up for summer, and it's a nice little memorial bench. You can see that. I'll post it on my community page.
Yeah, it's called a buddy bench, and they're not planning on doing it just for summer, from my understanding. I think they plan on doing it for more children, but summer's going to be, I think, the first one that they're doing it for. And it's a very worthwhile project, because even once the child is found, that bench will be there for the children in the community. There's a lot of kids that are going through a lot of things. Sometimes they're being bullied at school, and they just want to take solace somewhere by themselves where they don't have to deal with everything. And,
or if they're lonely and want somebody to talk about, they can go sit on that bench, and then other people know that that's what they want. So it's a kind of a therapeutic thing for other kids. And it's really an honor for somebody to do that for summer, to put that in her name, because that's the kind of things that when she comes back, she's going to see that we're done with love and care,
Yeah.
Just like her Summer's Day, she's going to hear about that, and she'll see. I'm sure they're probably taking private pictures and stuff like that, because they're not live streaming it. They're not trying to make money on it. It's not like let's go have a meet and greet and let's go do this. And I've seen that. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Too bad you're such a big channel and you got so many suckers listening to you. Because I'll tell you what, some people drink some funky Kool-Aid around these parts. You know what I mean? They're just into, I don't know, Jim Jones and cult or something. I don't know what else to refer to. I could be a real smart ass, but I'm trying to time it down because this is for summer. But I'm pissed. I'm pissed about what they've done to Summer. I feel bad for Summer, and I feel bad for her family being, there's a great show on Netflix that's called Guilty by Media, or Convicted by Media, or something like that. Go watch it, because that's exactly what all them people are doing. And I feel bad for them, because I know I can sleep at night not accusing anybody of anything, because I believe wholeheartedly in our world of innocent until proven guilty, because you never know, right? I mean,
yeah. And Angela, you're right. I mean, Missouri has a huge problem with missing children. I've covered a number of children out of Missouri, and every day it seems like I'm posting flyers out of Missouri or Kansas, because they're right there at that state line. Kansas City's terrible, especially. And unfortunately, law enforcement in Missouri is not exactly the easiest to deal with when you have someone that's gone missing. In many cases, you have to go out and get your own independent autopsies done, because I could be here all day talking about that.
Yeah, we've been through many of the cases, and like you were saying, the ones that are being hit right now is Washington State,
Oregon. You've got your Dakotas that are really
Yep, the
bad, especially
Dakotas.
with the natives, and
Minnesota
then
has went up a
Minnesota,
little
yeah,
bit. But
and
they're
then Virginia. Virginia is really
yeah.
bad as well right now. Every day I'm covering 2 or 3 out of Virginia. So
I wish somebody would do a study on these spots. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Look, I do know that the states that I looked at surrounding areas around them, and most of them are by a major interstate or highway that goes everywhere, highway that goes out of state real quick. Okay, that's where I see. I mean, within 5 miles there is a interstate highway to get them out. You know what I mean? I think
exactly.
they should have roadblocks myself when an Amber Alerter comes up, boy. Cut that
Well,
stuff
and,
off.
and that's the thing. I mean, if we had proper Amber Alerts being issued in a lot of these cases, we might be able to stop some of the trafficking that's going on. But because runaways are typically trafficked at a higher rate than a standard abduction, and they don't want to issue Amber Alerts for runaways, we see so many of these children being found 5, 6, 7, 8 states away after traumatic harm has already come their way. So
I'm with you, Mad Miss Ad. I tell you what, I like Kool-Aid too, but not that kind. I'm glad I keep myself from drinking it. I just get disgusted every time I go around, and I see how hard Arctic works. You know, he sometimes puts out 20 faces a day or more, and he does it every day. Okay, and then we've got, the repetitive bullshit 3-hour lives talking about things we've heard about that have no proof. I don't know. I think it is up to the subs. It is the subs who keep them channels going. It is, and I appreciate my subs. I'm not saying anything against any of you here. In fact, I like drama too. I go all over these streets, okay? But when it comes to a child, and I'm going to speak about it, it's going to be a fact. It's going to be something that was put out to be a fact, because I don't want to harm a case. I don't want to put anything out there that might be taken on a telephone line and become this biggest theory that wrecked a case and had stopped justice for a child, or that
yeah,
they can come
and I
back and
agree
look
with
at.
you, Sassy Nas. In fact, I'll go a step further than that. I think that the alert should be broadcast nationally if possible,
Yeah.
because you don't know what state that child's going to be in. A case that I've worked on, that I'm limited as to what I can talk about, but a case that I worked on recently, the child went missing out of California and they were found all the way in South Carolina. So, I mean, that is something that, these alerts need to go out far and wide. And that's why the subs that are watching these videos, which a lot of you aren't subscribed according to the numbers.
Yeah.
But the
Hit that
subs that are
sub
watching,
button, buddies.
the subs that are watching these videos and sharing these videos out, you are the key to bringing these kids home. You're the one that's getting their faces seen on a national level. So all I do is sit in front of a computer screen talking to myself. It's you guys sharing everything that really makes the difference in bringing these children home.
It does. That's exactly where I was going with it. You can sit and watch your drama and this and that, but when it comes to this, share it out. You guys, if it wasn't for you guys sharing out what we put on our community wall or our videos, or giving them a like, or even being here in the live streams and giving a comment afterwards, that all helps it get up there. That's the only reason why I want my sub count to go up and my views to be better, is because I want the people that I put out to be up there, to go out to the masses and be amongst many, many eyes. And Arctic, especially, very fast growing channel. But you want to know something? He is the only one on YouTube that does his own thing. He's the only one here doing it. I'm copying him. I'm going to start copying him. I'm letting you know I'm copying him. Okay, got the idea from him, and I'm going to do it. But that's only to help, because what he does is exactly what needs to be done. The faces, the facts, the times they went missing, where they went missing, and he puts it out. And he does 20 of them a day. Nobody here on YouTube does that. Nobody. Congratulations to him for growing, because he's now up to 9,020.
9,230 something, I think.
Bravo. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I knew you way back when you only had a few. And I'm proud of that. I've seen you do so much for the missing. I really wish a lot of other channels, even if they're not even, I mean, if they call themselves true crime and they talk gossip, they could at least have a avatar of a missing kid.
Yeah, I mean the slot for the people that know technology,
Hey,
not for some little hayseed from Arkansas like me, but for the people
Daniel.
that know how to use the technology, they could easily do a slideshow and have it up on their live stream of several missing kids. Even if they want to cover the same kid every day, at least they're getting the faces out there.
Exactly. So. I gotta say this. Hey, what the fuck is Kim doing in my chat? Tanga, I love you. Thank you, you guys, for being here. Really, so much. Thank you. But welcome, Kim. We know Kim in Colorado. We've seen her many times, I'm sure. So, yes. And what's Kim doing? I just got to do this an ongoing joke. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Really am. But yeah, I think we've ranted for like an hour. You know, I don't know what else to say outside of, you know, Summer's still missing. And I know so many people have her in your heart. Please keep her in your heart, your prayers. And let's try to do better for these missing kids. You know, let's try to pass on to, because your subs, you know, they don't listen to creators because then that turns into all drama and all that shit. They think you're against them and this and that. But as subs, you can suggest to your creators, hey, do you think you could do this a little better or this? You know, I mean, maybe they won't think you're a troll. Maybe they'll listen to you. I mean, I listen to creative, you know, criticism. I even listen to harsh criticism. Like, I can't change my voice. So that one that left me that comment, sorry. What can I do? You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. You should not have to go into a creator's chat and tell them, hey, my daughter's missing, be completely ignored, and have to send them a super chat just to get their attention. Hey, this girl from my community is missing. Can you please do something on the case? I mean, I there's been days that, and I'm not trying to be self-serving, but there have been days where I've put 15, 20 videos out, and someone has messaged me that someone from their community is missing and asked me if I would put a video out, and I will hop back on the computer, fire everything back up, and put that video out because I know it's someone important to one of my subscribers. And even if it's not one of my subs, it's still someone important to someone else that needs to have the coverage.
Right. Well, my opinion is that she looks a little too old. I think that forensic art circle jerks could put the name of that person who I tried to name earlier. I think hers is much closer to what a 7-year-old would look like. I think she did a fantastic job, and maybe she should send hers to TBI.
Yeah, I agree with Circle. She doesn't even look like Summer to me.
Right.
And she looks like we were talking about earlier, like she's 11 or 12 in that progression rather than 7 years old. So.
Right. Art for Life is her, if she's a forensic drawer. She does this for a living. So, you know, I mean, I really think she should offer that picture because it really does look like Summer. And this, I don't know if they're going by what Candace looks like or what, but I don't think it's really Summer. It just looks too old, by the way. And by the way, if I can find it now, because now I think I'll have to go into my description. Something, I lost everything here. Hang on 1 second and let me get my puppy's whining.
You know what you should do if you do have that age progression that Art for Life did checking is you should go ahead and do a side-by-side with her original missing flyer and the age progression, stitch them together and share that to the community page. And way.
Well, I'm sure, you know what? I'm sure somebody will do that. Now that you said that, be great. It really would be great to do that because you'd see what she looked like and then what they think she looks like. And then what, honestly, I think Art for Life did a fantastic job. I really did. Okay, I have to find. I was emailed a song by Awaken The Art. She's a sub. I think you might know who she is. Copy link address. And she wrote a song for summer last year, and she told me to play it, or I could play it. I told her I definitely would play it. It is a very pretty song, so I want everybody to hear that. Oh, now I can't find it. It's in the description. I knew that was going to happen. My computer's doing what it does all the time, knocking me off of everything. Or is this it? No, that's the picture of, that's one of summer I did. All right. Well, don't look like I'm going to be able to do it. But in the description of this video is a song that a wonderful person wrote. It is really nice. I hope you all will go listen to it and give her some views, because it is very pretty and it is summer's day. And does anybody have any questions or anything? Let me look through it. You think she looks like her older brother?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see where it looks more like the older brother than it does Summer. And I know what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to take some of both Candace and Dawn's features and superimpose them and then come up with the age progression that way, but it just didn't turn out well.
Right. Yeah, she does look like she's 11. That's kind of where I was at with that too. I think she looks a lot older. They kind of skipped over the 7, because if you look at her, she's kind of a tiny. They might have been looking at that, that picture where she's up really right here and her face is wide, and you really don't see the little girl in her. You kind of see the little girl devil in her. You know what I mean? The little, I can get into things. That picture of her where she's in the red dress and her face is like, yeah, the little I'm a little devil sometimes. I can get in some trouble, but I'll get my way, that kind of cute thing. I thought it was a cute picture, but they might have done that too, because her face looks like that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand they fill it out because she's probably gained some weight, like Art for Life said, but hers, the eyes are the same. You can see the summer in that.
Yeah. And see, when they do an age progression too, something that one of the dog handlers that goes out with the dogs and tries to find people told me is, when you're doing an age progression and when you're out searching, you should be looking at the ears in particular, because your ears never change. And
Right.
So that's one of the things that they should have focused on when they were looking at doing the age progression, is the ears, to make sure at least those, if nothing else, the structure of your nose isn't going to change unless you're one of the Kardashians that goes out and gets a new one every 3 months. So
Yeah, no kidding. That's for sure. Well, I don't know if I got my point across today. I kind of hope I did. I just think we need to do better for our missing. It's a passion I have, and I just really want every one of them. They matter to me. Every face I see, it touches my heart. And there's so many of them, and I wish I could cover them, every one of them. So, Arctic, you'd be up all night long doing it. You would never sleep.
I honestly, one day I tried. I went to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children's website, and I went to Alaska, and I was going to cover all the children in Alaska. And
you got to take it for a minute, buddy. You know what time it is. My dog's got to go. I'll be right back.
I literally was overwhelmed just looking. Before I even got started recording, I was like, there's no way. And you take states like Virginia, like Tennessee, like Oregon, like Washington, where they have the larger numbers of missing children, and it's just overwhelming. I mean, the work that I do with the Aware Foundation, I mean, just the ones that they put out on their website, that's a lot to try to keep up with. There's so many of them out there, and you try your best. And that's why for creators, I encourage them to take full advantage of that community page, because if you're not going to cover them in video form, that's an easy way to at least get those faces out there to as many people as possible. But I do want to point out that YouTube needs to put a share button on that community page to where creators can share it. They can share a poster or a flyer from one creator's community tab to their page, but they need to put it to where it's easier. Because right now, if you're a subscriber and you're trying to share a flyer that's on, say, my community page out, you've got to take a screenshot of it and then post it to your Facebook or post it into Twitter or wherever. There should be a share button there, just like there is for our videos, to where it's easily shareable and you don't have to take that step of taking a screenshot. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that YouTube really needs to work on, in my opinion, because it could really make a big difference. So
yeah, there we go. My dog has to go every time we go live, doesn't she? She's like, oh, you're live. Oh, I got to go potty. And I got to go potty now. She does it every time. But Arctic is really good about it.
You need to get that dog a dang doggy door. That way it can let itself in and out.
Yeah, she'd be too scared to use it. She's a fright. She's so old. Oh, my gosh. Come here, baby. Come here. Get up here. She's so fat and old. There's my girl. Say hi. She goes, eh. I want to go under my covers. She's so old and crotchety right now. She just likes to lay under the covers and beg and nudge. She wants to be.
Yeah, my dogs end up with 90% of my blanket before the night's over, and I'm sitting here trying to get a washcloth to cover up with because they've stolen all my sheets. So
I love you, Rosie Rand. Nosy, you're like one of my favorite people in the world, and you know it, and I miss you too. But you're doing life. Oh, there she is. This is the person who did the song. I wish. Oh, I know what I can do. Hang on, I just remembered. Let me go check. Take over for a second. Oh, you know what? And I got to do this because I make faces when I look for things, and I don't want people to go, ooh, clip that.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much that we could be doing. I mean, and like I said, if y'all haven't gone and signed that Amber Alert petition that I've got on change.org, please go over there and sign that, because it's something that we desperately need. We need the Amber Alert system reformed in this country so that every missing child gets some type of alert. Even if it's not an Amber Alert, which would be preferable, they all should have an alert put out for them. It's ridiculous that, in this country, if you're a child over the age of, say, 10 that goes missing, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have some law enforcement officer getting out a rubber stamp and stamping you a runaway. It's just that simple. And hey, Sold Out, good to see you. Hey, Tanga Ray. But yeah. Let's see here on a graph and see where the majority of children are missing from. And is it because the number of population? Well, I think the reason why it seems like the number of children going missing is so off the charts now is partially because of the internet, because we can literally fire up a computer and we can see, hey, all these children have gone missing from this area, especially when you've got sites, fortunately, like the NCMEC, that will let you segregate it by state and see how many are missing from a particular state. It becomes overwhelming and it looks menacing. But back, say, when I was a child, we didn't have that technology. I'm sure there were a lot of children going missing then too. But it wasn't a focal point, except for when you'd go to eat breakfast and you'd see little Timmy's face on the milk carton. That's the most up and personal we got with the missing cases back then.
Yeah, and we did a live about that too. So, yeah, I think what Arctic is saying is double for me too. I really do. I mean, just, share them, sign them, petitions, let's just do good. But I got that song now, and I'm going to play it for everybody. And this is from this person right here. Thank you very much for mailing or emailing me that. I think it's a beautiful song. Let's listen to that, and then I'll come back and say goodbye. Let me see. I got to share a screen. Getting better at this stuff a little bit anyway. Okay.
Circle Jerk, they stopped doing the milk cartons because it didn't really ever bring a lot of children home, and it was traumatizing children to sit there at breakfast and see children their age on a milk carton as they're pouring their milk for their breakfast. And that's part of the reason why they stopped that.
Right. Okay, so let's go.
There's no time like the right now. Kick off your shoes and chase that down. You've got this girl, spin yourself around. You're headed homeward bound. A full summer moonlight hits the night sky, shining across those Tennessee hills. A twinkle in the night sky, daring to shoot by our hearts until we're full. There's no time like the right now. Kick off your shoes and chase that down. You've got this girl, spin yourself around. You're headed homeward bound. When you're summertime, you like the mud in your toes, chasing down your brothers in your ribbons and bows, always barefooting like no other couldn't. You wore sparkly shoes at the Christmas cotillion. There's no time like the right now. Kick off your shoes and chase that down. You got this girl, spin yourself around. You're headed homeward bound. You're rough and you're tough like a summer breeze blows. You cry over puppies and other folks' woes. Run up and down the aisle shooting everybody's smiles. Energy goes where goodness flows. There's no time like the right now. Kick off your shoes and chase that down. Got this girl, spin yourself around. Headed homeward bound. There's no time like the right now. Kick off your shoes and chase that down. You got this girl, spin yourself around. Headed homeward bound. You're headed homeward bound.
Wow, that was confusing for me back here. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. That song is beautiful. I thought that song was beautiful. Arctic, you're under your covers now. Arctic must have had to go to the bathroom. Oh, there you are.
You had me blown up almost full screen. I was like, no one wants to see all that ugliness.
I tried to hurry up and fix that. I couldn't get back. My mouse was stuck. My keyboard gets stuck underneath because I got it all in one computer. So my keyboard got stuck under there, and I like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to rattle it. So I pushed my mute, and then it just started doing things. Sorry, guys. I'm really surprised we're still on here because of it. So they're probably laughing at all that now anyway. Anyway, that was a beautiful song. I appreciate every single one of you. Please let's keep Summer in your prayers, and we'll bring her home. I have hope, and that word hope is what people live on when this is in their life.
Exactly.
We've talked to some very devastated people, and you can only imagine what it might feel like if it was you. And
I just covered a case the other day, a child that went missing. I think he was like 6 when he was abducted by his non-custodial father, and it was actually a college application that ended up breaking the case open and bringing him home because his social security number wasn't able to be verified. And so his counselor got to looking into it, looked at the NCMEC, saw this child, and that's what broke the case open ultimately. And he was reunited after 12 years.
Right. That's, there are many cases, as in real, a lot of the cases that go for a long time don't turn out well, but there are those cases that do. And that's what hope is for. And if I was a parent or somebody, my brother was missing. I mean, I can say how I felt, but he came back. So 12 years later, that's a blessing, right? It's not unheard of. So hang on to hope. Be kinder to families out there, no matter what your thoughts are of them. If there's no legal evidence, you shouldn't be doing that to them. They're already traumatized. It's really ruined some people's lives. I mean, if you talk to Brandy O'Neill and listen to what she went through, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Has anybody said they're sorry for the things they've said? And I don't think sorry could do it because it's on the internet forever. They were very sorry. They would take that stuff down and they wouldn't use it. They wouldn't keep collecting money on it because it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible what people do. I might not like the way the Wells lived. I might not like their attitudes on the online. I might not like them drinking or using drugs, but that does not mean that they harmed that poor little girl.
Exactly.
So do better, people. I love our subs. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm so happy to see some of you that haven't been here before. You know who you are. I love you all. And Arctic, as always, buddy, we'll be back. And hi, Bubblegum. I didn't see you. We'll be back next week with another think tank and what's going on in the missing that we've seen throughout the week. I'm not going to play my usual cheesy little exit. It tells you to sub and ring the bell. I am going to play the one I made for Summer. So if people are just coming in, they can see the facts of Summer's case. And God bless every one of you. Thank you for being here. Bye, Arctic.
Bye.